All right, hello, this is Laura with Jot and Tittle Typewriters. Today, I've got a Smith Corona Silent, and if you're used to my videos, you know, hey, you've never started with a case before. Well, that's because I'm going to start with the case, because I do get questions on how to remove typewriters from their case. So this Corona, this is the case that came with it. You can see the handle is pretty worn, so it's probably going to need to be replaced, but it is still usable for the moment. But you just, here's your locks, and you just push those back and that'll pop open. Okay. And then to take the typewriter out of the case, this has a lever right here on the right side. You just push down while pulling up, and then you want to pull forward. And that's how you take it out. So just so you know, this slips into a slit in the back of the typewriter, and this clips down on the front of the typewriter. So that's how that works. Let's go ahead and put this away. Okay, so let's keep going here now that I've put the case away. I think before I had said it was a 1952. That is obviously not correct. I had grabbed the wrong tag that told me the year, and the reason I know is the 50s did not have these flat tops, and so I knew I had the wrong tag because we've got a couple of silents that I am working on right now, and one is from the 50s and this one is a 1936, which makes much more sense. The flat top is very much a 1930s style for the Smith Corona, and it's in the black gloss, and it looks really good. The only bad thing about black gloss, as you could probably see, is it shows your fingerprints so easy. So every time I touch it, I have to polish it again. Okay, so let's take a look at it. So back here is going to be your paper holder. Okay. This one is you can fold that over and you'll see your margins. You just press and drag your margins there. The tabs are all the way in the back, so I'm going to lift this up and show you the tabs. So this bar goes all the way across and it has grooves in it, and this is going to be where you set your tabs. I have 3 tab keys on this one, and so you just pull those out, and they are a little stiff, and then you just pick the groove where you want to put the tab stop, and then you just slide it back in there. Okay, and this is the slit I mentioned. This is what you need to slide into the metal piece that's in the case, which is why often, this is very normal, you'll see a lot of scratching and wear on the back end of a typewriter, and that's just from people trying to put the typewriter in and out of the case. Okay, so we've got that back plate folded back up. This is your paper guide. Right here is your paper release, and the paper release does not work on this typewriter, just so you know. The paper release, it doesn't work, okay? Which means you may have your paper loaded crooked. If it is, you'll have to take it out and reload it again. Okay, so carriage release is on each side, and you just pull that in, and the bell is not working on this one as well. So I'm going to keep it over to the left, and I'm going to pop the top open, and you're going to see the inside. Now this is called the escapement, and we've put metal spools in here, and these look like they're the original spools. So we have hand wound ribbon on this for you, which means there's a lot more ribbon on here than the typical universal ribbon that we use, because we hand wound this particular one. When it is time for new ribbon, you can just send us these spools. We'll discard the old ribbon and put new ribbon on it for you. You will find that on our website at jotandtittletypewriters.com, and just look for custom typewriter ribbon. That is the option you want. I've taken an up-close photo of this so that when it is time to put a new ribbon, you can see how it needs to be threaded properly through there. Black on top, red on bottom. Please keep in mind that when you type away and you go through that ribbon and you get to the end of the spool, you need to reverse the spool because there's a lot of ink in there. So you should be able to reverse this probably 20, 30, 40 times, 50 times or more before you need to replace the ribbon. So just keep that in mind. No, the ink does not dry up. It takes decades for that ink to dry up, so don't worry about it. However, that being said, if you're not using the typewriter, we do recommend you either get a typewriter cover, which we have those on our website, again at UntitledTypewriters.com, or keep it in your case. Right here is your touch selector. That just determines how hard these strike bars are going to hit your paper. Also, you reverse the direction of your ribbon right here. Okay. Color selector, red on top, black on bottom. The white just means stencil. You will probably never use that. Don't put it on that option because the typewriter won't type. And you'll wonder why. So make sure it is solidly on the black or the red option. Over here on the red right side, this is your line selector. So when you hit the return, it's going to advance either 1 or 2 lines. And then this right here, I am not sure what that is. I am sorry. I thought that was going to release the roller, but in this case, when you pull the handle out, that will release the roller, and that is just for fine adjustment, because when you turn the handle, it clicks. You can hear that. It clicks every half a line. Pull that out if you need to line things up a little bit better, and then push it back in before you keep typing. All right, let's go ahead and do a typing demo, and I will readjust my camera. All right, so remember the paper release over here does not work. So that's not going to adjust the tension on the paper. So you're going to want to be a little more careful in loading the paper and trying to get it level. So just set it there and then pull that through. And it's not very level. So that's where it would be really nice to have this paper release. So it takes a little more effort. Okay, so I just had to take it out and put it back in. So I learned to get this to level, to make sure it loads level. I kind of just put a little more tension on the left side, and very little. Just kind of put that in first and then let the other sit there, and that put it in really level for me. Okay, let's go ahead and type. No number once, use the lowercase l. This is a 1936. Oh, this type's really nice. Corona Silent. Wow. Fantastic feel. We actually haven't had one like this in quite a while that types this well. You know, I'd love to say that all of our typewriters are perfect, and they're not. We don't restore or refurbish, and so our typewriters are imperfect, but they work, and that's why it's so important to watch these videos, because some of them type perfectly, beautifully, but as in this case, this typewriter types amazing, but then you don't have the paper release isn't working perfectly, and that isn't something that he was able to correct without taking the machine apart and replacing pieces, which now you're getting into refurbishing, and we just don't do that by choice, and because Rob is still learning. He has quite a bit of skill. However, you know, once we start getting into refurbishing, the cost and the time into these typewriters skyrockets, which means our prices would have to skyrocket. And we're trying really hard to keep our typewriters within a certain price point, and so we're choosing to not go into refurbishing. Okay, so let's keep typing here. Whoops, backspace right here. Let me just say that of the older typewriters like this is the best typewriter I've ever typed on. And I've typed on a lot of typewriters. This is amazing. I'm in love with it. Okay, hold on. Whoops. Oh, where am I? Okay, and then also I'll have Rob look at this again, but the red is not, you can see it's mixing in with the black. So let me pull this up a little bit for you. So the red isn't consistent, it's showing partially black. So there might be some adjustments that need to be made there on the escapement. And I will note that in the product listing if he is able to adjust that sufficiently to make a difference. But just note it, because if I don't make any notes on that in our product listing, just note that that's how it's going to type for you when you get it. But even with that, and with the, you know, paper release not working, which can be a pain sometimes, most of the action on here is going to be your typing. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this is the best typing typewriter I've typed on. It flowed so easy. So I would say for a book writer, this is still a good option for you if you don't mind the paper release. The typing action, the keystroke on this is spectacular. So I hope this helps you. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have some questions, please let me know. All right, y'all have a great day. I'll talk to you later.